Disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Good evening, and welcome again to Have You Seen Us podcast. This story is coming out of Houston, Texas. All credit goes to KTRK. Brutal child abuse allegations said to have taken place over a 4-day period landed a Houston couple behind bars. The 5-month-old victim was allegedly brain dead when she was hospitalized on September 29th, 2024. The child succumbed to her injuries on Wednesday, according to investigators. Glenn Wayne Smith and Jasmine Ellison were arrested for injury to a child and serious bodily injury. The couple has no criminal history or past run-ins with Children Protective Services, according to law enforcement. What investigators find so disturbing about the allegations is that if the injuries were inflicted accidentally, the couple is accused of watching the infant get worse and worse, waiting to bring her to the hospital. The infant's mother, Ellison, appeared in court for the part she allegedly played in the heartbreaking sinking death of her baby girl, Janae Smith. The abuse is said to have taken place over a 4-day period, or the most recent abuse, in which the child was in the care of both defendants and the child's father, prosecutors said. The Harris County Sheriff's Office described Janae's final days as horrific. They begin on September 26, 2024. During that time, it is alleged that Janae's father, identified by court's record as Mr. Smith, was abusing the child, and Ellison failed to take action. It is alleged took place inside their North Houston country home on Plumwood Drive. Investigators say Janae was partially paralyzed and throwing up blood, yet Ellison and Smith waited until September 29th to call 911. The child was found with multiple serious injuries, including swelling and bleeding in the brain, no brain activity at the time of admission to the hospital, blood coming out of her mouth, broken ribs, healed broken ribs, prosecutors read in court. The child was accessed at Texas Medical Center, where she ultimately passed away. The medical staff said the injuries were likely caused by aggressively shaking the child. Ellison and Smith were questioned by detectives. Both end up giving statements to the police that were inconsistent with the injuries, investigators say. The attorney who represented Ellison in probable cause claims the 23-year-old mom sought medical care for her daughter but didn't specify when, as when told to bring her in if she got worse. It appears that the child declined while the client was at work. The attorney representing Ellison said in the probable cause. Eyewitness News spoke briefly with Janae's grandmother, who investigators said often visits the home but declined to comment. Smith was initially being held on $1 million bond, but later reduced to $250,000. Ellison was set at $150,000.
That began on September 26th. During that time, it's alleged that Janae's father, identified in court records as Glenn Smith, was abusing the child, and Jasmine Ellison, her mom, failed to take action. This all happening inside their North Harris County home on Plumwood Drive. Investigators say Janae was partially paralyzed and throwing up blood, yet Ellison and Smith waited until September 29th to call 911.
The child was found with multiple serious injuries, including swelling and bleeding on the brain, no brain activity at the time of admission, blood coming out of her mouth, broken ribs, healed broken ribs.
The child was assessed at the Texas Medical Center, where she ultimately died from her injuries.
Medical staff said that the injuries were likely caused by aggressively shaking the child.
Ellison and Smith were questioned by detectives.
Both ended up giving statements to the police that were inconsistent with the injuries.
Ellison's court-appointed attorney claims the 23-year-old mom did seek medical care for her daughter, but didn't specify when.
I was told to bring the child in if things got worse or reoccurred. And then it appears the child declined while my client was at work.
We did speak briefly with Janae's grandmother, who investigators say often visited the couple's home, but she declined to comment. Smith is being held on a $250,000 bond, while Ellison's was set at $150,000. At the Texas Medical Center, I'm Alex Bozargian, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Rest in heaven, little one. Rest in heaven. I'm sorry I couldn't find a picture of you. Rest in God's arms. As I stated, all children deserve parents, but not all parents deserve children.